minutes. The few-minute platform, a pastoral epistle. We're in 1 Timothy. Tim will continue to read for us.
And I'll be reading from chapter 5, verses 11 through 16, and it reads, "The younger widows should not be on the list, because their physical desires will overpower their devotion to Christ, and they will want to remarry. Then they would be guilty of breaking their previous pledge. And if they are on the list, they will learn to be lazy and will spend their time gossiping from house to house, meddling in other people's business, and talking about things they shouldn't. So I advise these younger widows to marry again, have children, and take care of their own homes. Then the enemy will not be able to say anything against them. For I am afraid that some of them have already gone astray and now follow Satan. If a woman who is a believer has relatives who are widows, she must take care of them and not put the responsibility on the church. Then the church can care for the widows who are truly alone."
Amen. Amen. I want to thank you for that. I had mentioned a little earlier, in the last session about the fact that, that the younger women are to go and to be, and to look for opportunities of marriage because they don't really fit the description of being widowed. Widowed person has practically no chance of ever having a mate again. And that's the reason why he provided an age and everything else for it. But you can see again, this consistency throughout 1 Timothy. There's a real concern for women. You're not to look at that if you're a female. Man, he's harsh on women. It is the women that he has observed who were pagan women at that time. Okay? And it is very clear, in a pagan world with pagan women who've had pagan background, by the way, you certainly have, the same kind of circumstance today, and you have a church community that wants to provide and to care for them. But he continues to delineate how that care is going to be done, because it's a real issue. You have resources, then they were limited just as they are now. And so again, if you even had a circumstance where a woman, was in a family and there were widows in and around in her own family, she was to take in the widow of her own family so that what? So that the burden of that woman would not fall upon the church. Again, the church being communal. We tend to think, 21st century, but this was written 1st century. So, there's some things that are cross-cultural, they are universal, but in this situation, he is talking about the kind of circumstances where people literally lived, the church lived together. They were communal. When you think of offerings, when you think of everything of that nature, the church was a communal operation. And so in this particular situation, he wanted to make sure for single women, they were to be focused upon the possibility of having a husband. But Timothy, being the pastoral leader, was also supposed to observe their conduct to make sure that they were under, quote, control, because they could destroy the ministry with their conduct. They could destroy the ministry with their gossiping and being busybodies. And that can happen today if you don't have if people are not trained and developed and disciplined, as we talked the last time about discipline. But for the single women, again, there's care there. There's care in terms of what they're provided for, and then there's care to watch their activities. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Father, we